So I wrote this letter to my local paper recently, and it was one I wrote weeks ago, so I didn't really remember even writing it for the most part until it actually popped up. It was about the heroin issue in my hometown of Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So I wrote, so Williamsport is seeing a lot of heroin abuse. How shocking. You know why a lot of people do drugs? Because life sucks. You know why one of the places life sucks for a lot of people? Williamsport. This town is so full of backward-thinking conservative nonsense that has no place in a complex world where people are in dire need of real answers. A nitwit, egomaniacal mayor like Gabe Campana doesn't have them. He's just another empty suit. Mr. Self-righteous, tough-on-crime mayor, well, I'm sorry, you're no Batman. In your time as mayor, drug dealers have taken ownership of this city. Mayor Campana is a self-deluded, vain politician like all the others destroying communities with their scorch-the-earth politics. He attacks the poor and makes thinly veiled racist comments. Another career-climbing, self-righteous individual who even drove a Starsky and Hutch Gran Torino replica, which is actually true. Are you serious? Now he drives around in a patrol car for some reason. Is he making drug busts in this car? He should, considering the city is paying him to drive around the city like he's Dirty Harry. Such a task is too brutish for Dr. Gabe Campana, sigil of justice for Williamsport. Where did you get your doctorate? In the back of Rolling Stone magazine? Oh no. That couldn't be right because dorks like you don't read Rolling Stone. This is what the paper published, and they edited some stuff out. So Williamsport has seen a lot of heroin abuse. How shocking. You know why a lot of people do drugs? Because life sucks. You know one of the places life sucks for a lot of people is Williamsport. This town is so full of backward-thinking, conservative nonsense that has no place in a complex world where people are in dire need of real answers. An egomaniacal mayor like Gabe Campana doesn't have them. A Mr. Tough-on-crime mayor is no Batman. In his time as mayor, drug dealers have taken ownership of the city. Which is pretty much the, gist of my letter anyway. But yeah, they kind of changed stuff. I guess some of it was a little too offensive. But here's some of the online responses, which I think are pretty funny. This one was really funny because it has nothing to fucking do with my letter at all. It's Daniel is such a good biblical name. Our youngest son shares the same name. Daniel, of strong faith, who prayed to God daily, chose not to bow down and worship the image of Nebuchadnezzar. I've never even fucking heard of this, okay? Like, I'm not a biblical scholar, so I don't know this stuff. So anyway, he's a king of Babylon and, God knows when, 600 BC something. So was thrown into the fiery furnace and lived. And thanks to God's protection, later he was arrested under King Darius for praying to God and was thrown into the lion's den. Again, God protected Daniel. And he lived. Daniel Yaxermer suggested that you put your faith and hope and love in God, and maybe life wouldn't suck. Yeah, well, that's a complete bunch of fucking horse shit. And so there's some other stuff down here. This one by Mr. Yada, who's it, Mike Kirksetter. Yox says, hey. I don't know what that means. Hey, Yox asks, hey, heroin, how have you been? Now we know, because I guess he's implying that I do heroin. Let's go down here to Mr. Yeah, life sucks because of conservative thinking. I guess one would think that if they believe the government is there to provide you with every need and work is for those not smart enough to play the system. And that's not really the gist of my letter. I wasn't saying that the government should, totally hold your hand on everything and just totally keep you. I didn't say that. Again, completely taking my letter out of context, as usual. And I don't even my letter was it's mostly out of sarcasm and stuff like that. I don't really take this. I'll tell you what would really suck, having to contact this sad man on
having to have contact with this sad man on a daily basis. I hope he hasn't bred yet. Oh, don't worry, I haven't, because I don't want to bring a kid into a world full of people like you, Premier, or whatever the fuck your name is. So they're hoping that I haven't bred yet. Well, I thought these fucking Christians, they want everybody to fucking have a bazillion kids, no matter how stupid they are. Okay. I'll tell you what would really suck, having to... Okay, that's the same one. But there's some... Yeah, there's some... You think Williamsport is bad because of conservative thinking. Imagine living in Detroit or Chicago with liberal thinking. Really? Was Detroit and Chicago run on completely liberal thinking? No one even really talking about that. I'm saying think outside that whole fucking, paradigm that is clearly now failed, but hey, don't listen to what I was actually saying. Okay. Life sucks, so do heroin. They won't let you write heroin or sucks, apparently, in the post. They censor it out on the Sun Gazette. Thoughts like this make me jealous of liberals. They were always so thought out. Dang. Yeah, whatever. Hey, Yox, tell us how you really feel. Route 15 also travels out of town. Ever think of taking it? No fucking shit. Alright. Oh, God. Fucking dumb shit. Where is the need for these drugs? There is a need for these drugs, but they should be more closely monitored. I had about I don't even know what that word is. I'll tell you that it was the worst pain I ever had. I couldn't sit, stand, or lay down. It was terrible. Thankfully, the pain went away about a week. Okay, so he's just likes to get fucked up. That's cool. I would hate to see people in legitimate pain have to suffer due to those who abuse drugs. Well, I know. Well, That's Capricorn, dickhead. I agree with you to a point, Grammy. However, the big contributing factor is the heroin epidemic is the result of decades of unchecked abuse of prescription opiate painkillers. Yeah, whatever. Of course it is. Okay, American says, good, you're from Texas. Okay, we get it. You're from Texas. We all make a little heaven, and we shall live. A very large portion of heaven is our personal outlook on life. That's a bunch of shit. It's Obama's fault. Of course it is. Williamsport has always had a reputation for dealing drugs. That's true. Actually, I agree with this post. Oh, man. But yeah, I wrote some responses. That was one of them. Yeah, I wrote to the response to Capricorn is it's not a matter of everything falling into a liberal versus conservative paradigm. It's a matter of common sense, a virtue clearly lacking in our culture. From Texas to PA, the guy who wrote about the King Nebuchadnezzar, whatever the fuck. I had to look that up. I could care less about who the king of Babylon was in 604 BC. What does that have to do with anything in 2014 AD and what I'm talking about? I'm not going to start believing in something that counters my line of reasoning in how I see the universe because of an ancient tale. I couldn't compel you to think any differently, so why do you think I would suddenly find religion at age 40 when I figured out it was all bullshit at age 4? So that was kind of my... But you know what I'm saying. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that's what happens when I write a letter to the editor at Williamsport.